What's happening now across the Niagara frontier? News stories, old stories, stuff you know about and stuff you'd never believe. It's the NiagaraHub Soapbox with Craig Avery.
Well, good morning. It's early June when we're taping this episode here, and we're anxious to see the summer season start in Niagara Falls. Lots of activity, lots of traffic. Some of the weather's been good, and the next day it rained. So it's interesting what's happening here. But one thing that we can count on is it's election season coming up here. Candidates for council, candidates for city court judge, and one of these city court judge candidates are with us today, Alan Roscetti. Welcome, Alan.
Hello, good morning.
Alan, you're running for judge. What are you thinking, man?
Oh, it's exciting. It's time for me to start giving back to the community. I'm living here on 28th Street. That's where my family grew up. I'm living actually in my grandfather's old house, where him and I spent a lot of time together. And I want to help this community like my family's been helping it for years. My father's been doing a lot of work, a lot of philanthropy throughout the city. I've served on a lot of community boards. I've served on some boards at the YMCA, but I really feel like now's the best time for me to help the community in every way that I can.
Right. You live in your grandfather's house, actually?
Yes, he built it a long time ago. My father grew up there. My mother grew up on the one street over, and I'm back. And after my grandfather passed away, I was able to move back into that house, and my son and I live there now on 28th Street.
Wow. You grew up in Lewiston.
Yeah, my parents, after they got married, they moved to Lewiston, so I ended up going to Lewiston Porter High School. Then after high school, I went down to college down south at Duke University in North Carolina, and that was a lovely, lovely place, a lovely city. Yes, yeah. And the whole state of North Carolina, the parts that I visited were all very nice. So it was a tough decision to come back here to Niagara Falls and leave that life down there. But I love this area. I love the people here the most, and I've got so much family here that was really why I decided to come back here. And now I just want to try and help in every way that I can.
Great. It's probably interesting, your memories as a young boy at your grandparents' neighborhood compared to what's happening now where you live there. What are you seeing different on 28th Street?
Every weekend, my grandfather and I would walk from his house. We'd stop at Wilson Farms, get some candy or pop, and walk over to my aunt's house who lived on Grand Avenue and Linwood, and we'd walk all around. And now, with my son, I'm doing those same walks with my dog. And when we're walking, we see on the ground bags from drug paraphernalia, broken glass all over the place, and we have a little bucket to keep it in. We try and pick it up and clean up while we're walking, but it's really disconcerting that it used to be such a lovely clean walk, and now it's a little sullied, and I think we need to really consider that and try to get things back in focus in the community.
Wow. Well, that's interesting to see the difference. One thing that I've always found in the maybe 30 years or so that I've lived in the community is just the disconnect that the community has with each other. Businesses don't work together. I've always had that issue, and I think it's starting to gel a little bit better, but even the neighborhoods need to work together. Business associations are starting to see the same kind of tone. How does the role as a city court judge work? You've got so many aspects of the community that's coming to you, whether it's a speeding ticket or a domestic dispute.
Well, yeah, you see a lot of different types of people, a lot of different cases, and what I can offer is I'm very patient. I'm very able to listen to everybody's side, hear what's going on, give people a chance to express their opinion, and help them work through their issues. That way, whether it's neighborhood disputes or drug addiction issues, I'm willing to listen to everybody's side, hear what they have to say, and not shut anybody out. I don't want to over-talk anybody. I want all the information I can gather when talking to people.
So you've been practicing as an attorney.
Yes.
So your experience in the courts you're in there. You're working it.
I've been a practicing attorney for about 15 years now, and I worked with my father for 10 years before that at his office. I started out mowing the lawn and shoveling dirt in the driveway and moving rocks around. And slowly I worked my way into the building of the file room in the basement, and then worked my way up. But just working with him and just growing up with him 24 hours a day, I've been getting a lot of experience just from that. But mostly in the last 10, 15 years doing trial work, and I've seen all kinds of different addictions. I understand which people are looking for help and which people are just trying to look for excuses. and I'm able to listen to them and resolve a lot of their issues.
How long is the appointment if you're elected?
It's a 10-year term.
10-year. Wow.
10-year term.
And you're ready to do that. You're a young man. You're ready to put the next 10 years behind the bench.
Yep. Yeah, I'm ready to do that because really, the main decision. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of work. But if I'm raising my son here in this city, I want him to be in a community where he feels safe. So I'm willing to put that work in for him.
There are different courts in the town. I know people are confused with some of the different judges and where they sit. Can you explain a couple of the different specialty courts that are in existence?
Well, sure. First off, we got the traffic court, simple, some traffic tickets. But really get into, there's a mental health court where people suffering from mental health issues who are accused of a crime can enter that court, and there's a lot of therapy involved in that, and the people willing to sacrifice to make a decision that in order to avoid a strict criminal punishment, they're willing to go through and get treatment, maybe take medication that they've been prescribed, and help work through their issues. And there's counselors that help them if they want help. And instead of saying, oh, I did something wrong, I should go to jail, they're like, I did something wrong, but help me so I don't repeat this in the future. That court, and there's also a very strong drug court here in the city, and that's a very similar thing. Some people want to use that as an excuse not to go to jail. I'll go to drug court, then they won't put me in jail, and I'll skirt around for a little while. But it's a place where you're tested. So if you don't have the right attitude, if you don't really want to fix your addiction problems, you're going to end up back in jail. And if you want to help, the court's there. It's willing to help you. It wants to help you. There's lots of people there, trying to help you. So I find that my clients who go in there with the right attitude of they wanting to get better, and they want to beat these addiction issues, they're able to do so with help of the drug court.
How does the police department's role in the whole thing? Of course, they're in the same building. They've got to go out and enforce the laws, and then the judges can sometimes unravel what they've done or support what they've done. How do you work with the police department?
Well, I don't want to really interfere with anything they do, but they have to investigate, they gather evidence, present it. Mostly they go through the district attorney's office, and the district attorney's office evaluates the evidence that they've supported, and they decide whether they want to present in court and the validity of that. And when everybody's doing everything right, there's really no issues. You report what you see, you write up what you see, and you investigate, and that just makes everybody's job easier. And luckily, a lot of police officers do everything just right, so there's no questions about integrity or other issues.
Well, I had the experience the other day to go up to what they call Part 32. I don't know why they call it that, but that's the third floor court. And it was interesting to see the lawyers and the different people in there, and everyone's so nervous and not sure what's going on. And you've got one side of the plaintiffs and the defendants, and they're all in the same hallway together, and then everybody has to file through and be respectful. It's an interesting, it's a whole interesting dynamic that most people are not familiar with. Some are because they're in there all the time. Yeah. But that's got to be something, is to calm the people once they're in your courtroom, and to make them a little more comfortable, so at least they can be to the best of their ability to present whatever they are to present. That's got to be something. You got to be calming to the crowd, I guess.
Yeah, well, the parts are different, just the room numbers. I used to have a lot of friends who would be watching Law and Order, and they'd see Part 45, and I understand that was the courtroom. They would think, well, what's Part 45 of a trial mean? Well, yeah, it's just a room. But I think it's a big deal keeping everybody calm, and I think the more information people have, and the more they know that they're going to be able to get their side across, then the calmer that they are. So if you're willing to listen to people and not interrupt them, let them get their full story out, it really helps calm them down, and there's no agitation. And when you know what your possible options are, it's a lot easier to be calm.
Tell us a little more about your family.
Well, I've got a sister. She's a little bit younger than me. She teaches pre-K at a Maple Avenue school, where my son's going to be going. He'll be in her class this upcoming fall. My father's been an attorney here in the city for, throughout my whole life, probably about over 40 years. And my grandfather built a lot of houses in the city. He was a construction worker. And my mother's father owned a Punix Grill on 24th Street and Pine Avenue.
Wow, okay.
So we owned that for a long time. And my mother used to be a radiologist at the hospital. And I've got lots of cousins in various spots throughout the city, and teachers, pharmacists, all walks of life. And
Cool.
and my son's excited to go to school. He wanted to start tomorrow. He's excited to have his sister as his teacher. So
Oh my gosh, how funny.
he's ready to go.
That's wild. Well, they can help you in the campaign, obviously. Now, the steps of the campaign, you've got petitions are probably your first step coming up.
Yeah, petitions start tomorrow.
And what is the petition process? Just
Well,
real quick.
Well, to get on the ballot for any party, as a judge, I have to run on I'm able to run on all the parties. So you need 5% of the party members of that particular party to sign your petition saying that they're willing to allow you on their ballot when they come to vote. So we need, a few hundred signatures of Republicans, twice as many Democrats, and so all the other candidates are also getting signatures. And so really the first person, you can only sign for one candidate. If you sign for the second candidate's signature, that is invalid. So I'm really trying to get people out there to come sign my petition early. That way I don't worry about any invalidations.
So the first signature is the one that's valid.
Yes.
I think people have to understand that too, because they just say, "Oh, yeah, I'll sign." They
Yeah,
don't
no,
know
because
what they're-
in my past, people ask me to sign a signature. Sure, I'll put everybody on the ballot if I had to
Yeah.
do that. But I really need to get on the ballot, so I got to get all my friends out there. I've got about 100 of my friends are going to go get petitions tomorrow, and I'm having a little party at Buffalo Wayne's Joint to have anybody who can't, go get petitions can just come there and sign a petition for me. So we'll see how. This is my first foray into this, so we'll see how long it takes to get these signatures. But we've got about a month to do it. But
Cool.
it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's exciting.
Very good. Well, we wish you luck. And I just want to tell you one very unique thing about Mr. Roscetti is that he still believes in Santa Claus, because in 1983 he actually sat on my lap and I had the full Santa regala going on, and I was so convincing that he to this day believes in Santa Claus, and I just blew it by telling him it was me. So I'm sorry, but Judge, I have to, Your Honor, I have to tell the truth. It was me. It was me.
The truth comes out. That's cool. That was. Well, now I know.
Very good, very good. Well, Alan, good luck, and keep us posted on what you're up to here.
All right. Thanks.
All right,
yeah.
buddy. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. If anybody wants to check out my Facebook page, just add me up and have a good time. I'm always up to something fun.
And we'll post, do you have a website?
Yeah.
Facebook, we'll post all that on this thing here, and how to contact you and how to follow you.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck.
All right. Take care.